Welcome back, YouTube. We're back here doing another nerd report, and the news can be very, very funny from time to time, especially when it comes to AT&T. They like to point fingers, but that old saying of if you point one finger, you have four pointing back at you. But before we get into the story, hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then also stay for the story. So why do I talk about AT&T pointing fingers? Well, in this article that has sprung up in my face, and this is from Yahoo Finance, AT&T stands up for consumers duped by competitor misleading claims. Now, when you see that AT&T is your savior, I laugh out loud from just that statement alone. Due to the fact that when you network test as much as I have, and you drive around from place to place, and you can see AT&T fall flat on its face, performance-wise on data. Now, calling, I don't really use my AT&T line that much for calling. I do use it a lot for data. Primarily all data, because my premise of mine has been this, is when you start network testing the carriers, pretty much calling is data, because they're doing voice over IP. And if your data is lacking, that means your calling is going to be lacking also. But the carriers do have mitigations in place to let phone calls go through and be higher priority on their network. So that much I do understand. But the problem is what happens when you start getting bogged down? What happens when you have a lot of people in one area? And I've hit different places on AT&T's network where their data was crap. And I understand, now that we're in a more competitive standpoint, that, you have to posture a little bit more. They're all three are coming out of their Q3 quarters, and they want to show that, hey, we are doing better, we're looking good. Hey, our competition's not really getting to us. T-Mobile had a phenomenal quarter from what I could tell looking at the numbers. If you want to go and look at the numbers, other YouTubers have broken down those numbers. AT&T came in second, and Verizon came in third. Now, when you look at the number, when you play the numbers game, you can kind of miss the forest through the trees, because what they're saying versus what they're doing are two totally different things. So, like, AT&T can bolster and brag that that they're doing more coverage, reliability, and availability, which that's what they're talking about in this article here, which is kind of funny, because yes, AT&T on paper should have more coverage. They're one, AT&T is the oldest of the telcos, oldest. Understand, it's like they are the grandpa that sitting in the rocking chair old, okay? So you would think that they should be able to have more coverage than Verizon and T-Mobile. But of just recently, when they got their hands on more spectrum from the federal government, that's when they were able to push their network a little bit further. But that's getting too much of the weeds. This is more along the lines of how competitive these companies are being towards each other. And you're starting to see it in their rhetoric to each other and them going back and forth. And the other ones is how they like to cherry pick data. I'm not a big fan of using only one metrics to justify what's going on with everybody's network. Like, there are like 3 or 4 different sources that you could pull from. One is Root Metrics, another one is Ookla itself, another one's called Open Signal. There's another one that I think is called Umlaut. I don't really see them as much, but there's like um, there's four of these testing firms. Some of them do open source. Some of them kind of claim they're more of a hands-on metrics company. They don't really show what they do. I'm not a big fan of root metrics due to the fact that their testing seems very old-fashioned. Who texts? Nobody really quote unquote text anymore, but they have a column that says, "Hey, Verizon has the best texting." What are you using? WhatsApp? Are you using, Google Message? Are you using iMessage to do this texting? Because that's pretty much what the people are using today. But it comes back around to how AT&T right now must be feeling the pressure from the competition, and that's one of the reasons why I'm bringing this up, is due to the fact that AT&T is throwing major stones and living in glass houses. Especially like in this article and in another one that I found that popped up just before I was getting ready to do this one. And it was showing like, what was it? The T-Mobile rep, the T-Mobile CEO was responding to AT&T and basically saying that, hey, you must be really feeling the pressure if you got to respond in this way. I just think that what we're seeing right now is a paradigm shift across the board when it comes to the telco industry, and I'm liking what I'm seeing, me personally. But what to say you? What do you think? Do you think that the competition has been going good for the consumer? Has merging the three companies, with it only being three companies, has it been better or worse? I know that the price hikes happened right after the merger happened, so maybe we don't see the benefits of the competition just yet. But I don't foresee another price hike happening, because all three customer bases are what I call being on the hot seat. Everybody is on edge because financial, the climate for finance is not very good. So price hikes are going to be very sensitive to people. And if Verizon, AT&T, or even T-Mobile looks to try to squeeze, Lincoln's nose, they might find themselves shedding customers. And that's an opportunity for your competitor to start, grabbing them up, and you losing major market share. So I don't foresee another price hike in the tarot cards right now, but weirder things have happened. I'll put it like that. But let me know what you think. Put it in the comments below. I'll put this article in the description below so you can read it. It's a kind of a long read. It's going through what AT&T is, where they're standing from, how they view themselves, so you can get a good idea about how AT&T is not trying to think that they don't want to think that they're bigger than everybody, but they know that they need to respond. And that's kind of what this article on Yahoo Finance is kind of going through. They're kind of doing a deep dive, like, hey, AT&T's trying to be that scrappy kid again. But let me know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. And also, the new thing, hit the hype button to let people know that, hey, you like stuff like this and you want to share it with people. Thank y'all for watching, and y'all have a good one.